Okay, and we are live. And I put it up this time on Facebook right before I started it, so hopefully that helps a little bit. I don't have to tab back and forth. I'm probably going to cut this one off at about 30 minutes like I did yesterday. I just don't like doing the really long ones. It just kind of drains me. But quick reminder for those of you who watch these after the fact, please remember to click like down below. Please subscribe. Please join my Orc Army. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Use my Amazon affiliate link. You guys know the routine. All right. Let's get some more people in here. There's 8 people watching. You guys got any questions? But no 531 questions. You have to pay for those because that's Jim Windler's program. You don't drop money, I'm not answering 531 questions. Just the way it's got to be. All right. Any tips for interior pelvic tilt? Yeah, don't do it. Put your hips in the correct position when you squat. Okay, put your hips in the correct position when you squat and keep them there. Here's what I recommend. In fact, when you squat, visualize your pelvis as a bucket of water, right? And don't try to spill any of the water out. What are your thoughts on stevia and other low-calorie sweeteners? What's wrong with aspartame? Billions of dollars in studies on it showing its safety. What's wrong with aspartame? Why do you need expensive crap like stevia? Look, man, you got Diet Coke. Hey, Jason, maybe you already answered this, but would you do another depletion workout before a meet? Yes, I think the depletion workouts are really the key once you get your body composition on point. I think that's one of the most important things that we can do to get ready for a water cut. All right. I think that's actually that's how I actually dropped that much water, because I dropped more for this meet than previous meets. Right. I dropped more and I did it easier. It was a huge factor. The refeeding is where I ran into problems. Should powerlifters perform vertical pressing in their routines? Is it necessary? Is it necessary? No. There could be some shoulder health benefits to it. I honestly don't think it's that necessary. Way too many world record raw benchers do not do any vertical pressing. However, if it addresses your shoulder weakness, if you've got one, okay, not bad. Could it address some potential injury risk for some people? Yeah, if you're not doing a bunch of pull-ups and stuff, might be a good idea. One of my Orc Warriors, coach, last week I started running again and ran day before squat day and had terrible sessions. Should I not run before the squat? Yeah, don't run before you squat, dude. Don't run before you squat. What have you been doing for GPP since you increased it? Well, Jordan, actually. That's Jordan from the vlogs. I am doing a lot of sled drag and I'm doing a lot of weight vest walking. Blop and Billy, you were banned just for asking weird bodybuilder questions. Bye. You were posed down with somebody. Bro, I'm straight. I am strictly taco, no burrito. I'm not posing down with another man in my panties. All right. I have a deload week coming up as a late novice. Do you think I could get away with taking the week off? You could get away with it. So here's my question. You have a deload week coming up. Why do you have a deload week coming up? Is it scheduled? Is this something a coach gave you? What's going on with having the deload week? Or is it just because you have a vacation or something coming and you won't have access to equipment? In that case, you have a vacation coming and you won't have access to equipment. Take a few bands with you. But as a novice, I'm going to say taking a week off for no reason as a deload is not as productive as you might think. Also, guys, we have 5 people watching for every like. We have 5 people watching for every like. Until those likes come up, I'm not answering any questions. I'm just going to sit My Diet Coke. There we go. Give me a few more. Come on, baby. Come on, click that like. All right. Congrats on your success, bro. Off top of any tips for getting stronger off the floor during the deads? I was pulling 525, felt heavy until mid shins, and it was easy. Actually, I was just chatting with Alex Fiata about that a few minutes ago. I told him, hey, bro, I need to hop over to a live stream. We were chatting about coaching and success. And he laughed about that too and said, yeah, people can try to talk smack all they want, but you have way too many clients who vouch for you and what you do. And it's very obvious you're doing well. So, but I do appreciate that. Any tips for getting stronger off the floor? And I'm assuming this is conventional. Felt really heavy till mid shin, then it was easy. Okay. Here's what I'm going to recommend. Maybe do some deficit pulling. Sorry, not deficit pulling. Do some block or mat pulls off low blocks or mats. That'll help you. Also work on your quads. Hey, it sounds like your quads may be a weak link. Start adding in either some belt squats, some leg presses, some isolateral leg work. Work on your quads a little bit. And you might need to work on your cues of driving with your quads off the floor. So turning it into a leg press when you drive off the floor. It also could be a technique issue for you, right? Could be a technique issue for you. I struggle to hit depth when warming up on squats until I put 225 on the bar. My hips feel incredibly tight and it takes a while for them to get going. Any advice on improving squat mobility? Do some pause squats. Do some pause squats. It'll help. Practice some pause squatting. Although I can't even get under a bar with less than 225 myself. I just can't get tight. I don't even warm up with anything less than 2 plates. I don't even bother. Hey Jason, what are your thoughts on bracing at the top of the deadlifts instead of the bottom? I find for high rep deadlifts it's easier when I take my breath at the top. No, don't do that. Thoughts on Big Lenny? I don't follow Big Lenny, dude. Why would I know? Why would I care? Why would any of you care? Like, do you not have anything better to do with your time than worry about him? Come on. Cold C, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm going to be. You need to get a life. Like, if you're really worried about that, you're kind of a loser. I'm going to say go work on improving yourself. Work on your own goals. Okay, don't be that person. You can do better than that. Oh, that's on you not caring. Well, then you're gone. You're going to be a troll. Bye-bye. You're gone. Bye-bye. I asked taking the deload week off question. I'm programmed to take the week off. Who programmed you to take the week off? Coach, I found it 4 times a week routine that only has 3 direct bicep and tricep work. Is that enough? I don't understand the question. Hey, Coach, I know you advocate for 10 sets per week per muscle group for optimal growth, but a lifter of 12 years, could I get away with getting more volume for a bit longer, 14? No, you could do more. It's just that it's going to be a very small improvement. And unless your recovery is on point, it won't be worth it. Seneca, I have no problem with someone who has a perfect lifestyle doing 20 sets per muscle group. I don't think it's a problem. If your food is optimal, your sleep is optimal, your conditioning is on point, you have low stress, good stress management, you can probably get away with that and get gains out of it. The average person is not. What is the current elite level front squat weight? I'm currently 295. There isn't, because it's not a contested lift. But it's assumed you can front squat about 15 to 20% less than your back squat. So we'll look up the elite back squat for your weight. My training partner has been getting a tight low back after rep work on squats, making it impossible to finish the workouts. You think this is just overuse and a deload will fix it? I don't have enough info. What is your walk around weight when preparing for a meet? Future, I was 100 kilos 10 days out and stepped on the scale at 89.5. Do you ever watch live feeds from powerlifting meets, Jason? Actually, no, I don't. Lacey, just finished my workout and happened to see this. Hello again. I posted a workout example of mine on your reference page. I don't know if you saw it. Just wanted to know your thoughts. Lacey, I don't review people's programs. It's actually a policy of mine. It's an official policy I've had for about 9 years now, because it creates problems when I review people's programs. I just don't, and it's nothing personal. Hey, coach, what do you think of a 4 times per week torso limb split? It's chest, back, and shoulder. That doesn't tell me anything. What's up, coach? Good to see you. Would you recommend against doing 90 minutes of static stretching once a week? I know you say it's not good to static stretch because we feel better. Static stretching has no benefits. You can do it if you like it, but don't do it too close to your training. Thoughts on Aerodyne bikes? Just bought one for extra cardio. Congrats on the meet, by the way. I think Aerodyne bikes are fine. Good for cardio. Although I will add with that stretching, 90 minutes, that's insane, dude. Why don't you spend that time doing something productive? Since you know static stretching doesn't really have a response, you could spend that 90 minutes doing some cardio or something. Come on, bro. I don't answer 531 questions for free. It's not my program. You guys go ask Wendler. One of the reasons I quit doing live streams was because of the 531 questions. And my solution is you have to pay for me to answer them. And then I don't mind. Hey, Jason, do you think DC training is a suitable training program for getting brutally strong in a variety of different exercises? Do you need to be doing the cycles for pin? DC training, you need to do it all together, dude. And it's really bodybuilding. I don't think it's not necessarily going to make you brutally strong the way that you think it will. And some of it is wasteful. Dante intended for that to all be done together with the cycling for pennies. Currently trying to bring up lagging pecs while running conjugate. Should I replace the overhead press with incline or just do all flat decline pressing? Why don't you do some dumbbell work in place of it? Do some dips, do some dumbbell work, maybe some specialty bars that focus on pecs. You could do some illegal wide bench. Thoughts on doing vertical or horizontal pulls 4 times a week? I'm doing both right now. Daniel, I don't understand your question. You didn't really ask a real question. Reword it. Try again. What other info is necessary concerning the tight back from squats? John, I would need a whole host of information. I would almost need to do a consultation with that person to figure out what's going on. Like, we're not going to be able to do that in a 30-minute live stream. There's no way. Do you prefer metal plates or bumper plates for a home gym? Well, you only want to use one bumper, so you're going to want metal for everything else anyways. Isaiah, I can assure you that static stretching does not help with your premature ejaculation. You guys are too much sometimes. Zillard, one of my orc warriors, just quit out of ranger selection, couldn't eat food to save my life in that environment. My lack of strength under the rogue worm was a bit evident. I'm glad I tried out. I know what to work on now. Yeah, Ziller, dude, it's tough, man. I have a client right now who is military police who wants to try out for Rangers next year. And it's going to be tough, man. Honestly, dude, just keep in mind, very few people are cut out for that. You have to be almost a genetically gifted athlete. You really do, to make it through that selection process. It's just so tough. Like, you really have to be the best. Like, if you're good enough to make it through Ranger selection, you might have been good enough to get a scholarship on an athletic scholarship through university. I mean, that's just the reality. It's brutal. Jason, will doing yoga before lifting affect performance? Immediately before, yes, it will. Jason, I'm 39 years old with advanced to elite numbers natty. I've never deloaded, but would like to. Can you lead me to some good resources, please? Yeah, just cut your weights 50% and cut your accessory workout for 1 week. That's a deload. That's simple. 531 is Archer questions. You're a surefire way to get banned. No, I'm not going to ban them. I'm just not going to answer them. What's the highest percentage you use for accommodating resistance on your max effort lifts? I don't know that I have an upward. I've done over 100 pounds of accommodating resistance. Oh, Tommy, you're gone. All right. Hey, coach, will Natty always lose some strength when cutting, or can you maintain at least 95% of it if you cut slow enough? It's really hard to say, man. There's no straightforward rule to that. I mean, if you cut slow enough, but if you lose too much weight, you're still going to lose some strength no matter what. It just is what it is. Kind of funny how some people ask super specific questions without any context. Got to go. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, it is. Hey, coach, how much volume would you recommend for someone who wants to body build? I don't know. Do you think you can recover well if you're doing a single vertical / horizontal 4 times a week? Maybe. I don't know. Still don't fully understand your question. Hi, coach. I love your routine for non-athletes. If I add extra sets, can I use the same progressions? Probably. Is there a role for push-ups, maintain healthy shoulder mechanics? I mean, it's a bench accessory. Jason, I can deadlift 325 for 11, but can't pull 415. Will maxing out regularly fix this ratio? Yes, it will. Just lifting heavier will fix it. Hey, coach, do you still supplement with creatine? Yes. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Do you yourself see yourself getting a cable attachment to bring up weak points? Probably not. I don't see myself doing that anytime soon. Hey, coach, I know you're a fan of book reading. How much to know as much as you know? How many books do you read a month? It's not a set number. It's not a set number. I don't know. I read a lot for training these days, but as far as other stuff goes, lately I haven't really been. Again, growing my training knowledge, growing my business has been a high priority for me. Hey, Jason, do you think one carb up day a week is efficient for fat loss to helping preserve strength? I don't really understand what you're at. What do you mean a carb up? Are you doing a low carb diet? I mean, are you doing a low carb diet? I mean, yeah, you probably do want a weekly carb up. But I mean, if you're doing a higher carb cutting diet, then you're getting your carbs already. Hey, best exercises to fix nerd neck. Deadlifts, shrugs. You could do some neck extensions if you wanted. Jason, does intermittent fasting impact muscle growth and protein synthesis? Potentially. What is your next home gym purchase? I don't know, man. I've got a lot of different things going on right now. A lot of little changes in my life are happening. I haven't really decided at this point what I'm going to get next. I haven't decided. I'm going to have to wait till I get in the house and then figure out what I need. I don't know that I really need much else at this point. I'll have to think about it. Isaiah, could you chill with those weird ass questions? I'm going to ban you if you keep asking about your premature ejaculation. Last warning. Do you think grip width matters as much on the overhead press as it does on the bench? It matters more. Why are you getting a leg press machine? Why not a hack squat? Benny, that's kind of changed at this point. That's kind of changed. Check my status updates. Hey, coach, what would be a good power clean to deadlift ratio? I know this is influenced by genetics and techniques. No, it's influenced entirely by genetics. So by asking me what's a good ratio, you're asking me how good a parents you selected. Hey, Jason, is doing intensity volume day on upper / lower 4 times a week sustainable to make progress while doing GPP 2 times a week? What do you mean intensity / volume? I do volume every day. What are you talking about? You don't do concurrent type training, Leroy? That's what I promote. You could do GPP more than 2 times a week and make progress if your conditioning's on point, your diet and sleep are on point. I do GPP every single day right now. When you do pillow rows, you let the bar drop, or do you keep the same eccentric speed as you would on bench squats? No, you let it drop. It's an explosive movement. Do any of your clients have a desk job and struggle with tight hip flexors and anterior pelvic tilt? Yes, lots of them. That's why we build the hamstrings and low back. It seems like the stressful environment of RASP was affecting my appetite a lot more than the average candidate, throwing up when trying to force myself to eat. Want to figure out what caused this. Yeah, bro, it's just something with your GI tract. Hey, Jason, will prescribed TRT make a well-structured cut significantly easier compared to previous attempts without TRT? Probably not. Probably not significantly. It'll might matter a little bit, but it's not going to be massive. Best upper back exercise. I feel it's a really weak point on my squat and bench. There is no best. Any form of rowing. Barbell rows, chest supported rows, dumbbell rows, specialty bar rows, inverted rows, upright rows, maybe some rear delt flies. Those are all good upper back exercises. What's the best tricep exercise in your opinion? There is no best. You guys need to quit looking for best exercises. You are looking down the wrong path. You need to be looking at finding multiple good exercises to program in with each other. John, that's completely irrelevant because I don't like those hypotheticals. Now that you're so lean, have you ever thought about going for more of a bodybuilding physique? You know, one more good run at it before you get too old? Well, I am working on that. I'm building muscle and I'm getting leaner, but I don't really care about a bodybuilding physique per se. But yeah, my physique will improve and that'll be good for marketing, but it's not something I see myself caring about. Like outside of it making money, I don't see why anyone would ever care about their physique as a man. I just don't, right? Ultra, I've done whole videos on that. It's not the roids specifically that are doing it. It's the entire cocktails of drugs. People who just use anabolics don't tend to actually die young. Dig into that a little deeper. I've done whole videos on it. Hey, Jason, do you think the behind the neck press is a great exercise for side delt development? I really like it, but it always keeps hearing about its cons being greater than the benefits. You know, behind the neck presses really are a counterindicated exercise. So I don't know that I really want to promote them on my channel specifically and tell people to do them or in a live stream. It's not like they bring anything special to the table, right? They don't bring anything special to the table. And they're high risk. Now, a lot of people can do them safely and they're a good exercise, but all the same parts of the muscle can be developed with other exercises that are considered to be safer. What are some good low back lifts with just a squat rack and a barbell? Good mornings, Romanian deadlifts. Right? Pretty easy. What do you think of, or you could also get other things like bands and stuff. And you could do band good mornings and things. What do you think of kneeling landmine presses for front delt hypertrophy instead of doing those? I'm not really a fan. Seems really complicated just to build front delts. What a weird little post. Okay, I don't even know you, Anabolic. Is there any significant difference between bands and chains with DE work and building explosiveness? Yes, but I wouldn't worry about it for you right now, Jordan. Does stress management matter for people on TRT or steroids because testosterone pushes down cortisol? Yes, it matters. And why would TRT matter? TRT means you have a normal testosterone level. So you're saying that people, 20-year-olds with a healthy testosterone level, don't need stress management. You see how silly that sounds? Okay, but as far as gear goes, it will not stop all of the problems. Stress management still matters a lot. Men shouldn't care about the physique. It's not if it's not helping their income. Yep, pretty much. I mean, I wouldn't obsess over it. I'm not saying, you couldn't care at all, but it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. And you're asking me personally, what I personally value. I mean, you're not going to make me personally see value in it. I just don't. Outside of making money, I don't see the point. What's your opinion on pin presses for fixing a chest weakness? I don't know that that would be my go-to for a chest weakness. If I drive for a living, how do I keep from getting tight muscles? I don't know. Do dynamic work for them. Do good mornings. Train your hamstrings. Train your mobility with squats. I don't know how to rehab that for you, Alan, just based on this, so I'm not going to answer that. Are you familiar with Turkestone? Seems to be the new fad with zero evidence. Yeah, all the best experts know it's a scam. And it's not new, by the way. It's not new. It gets recycled every 5 or 6 years. It's not new at all. It's been a scam a long time. How to include saunas and ice baths for training recovery protocol. Ice baths will interfere with recovery. Do you think U.S. has limited opportunities for gifted athletes to play sports? Seems like unless you're elite enough to get in the NFL, you have no other options and just end up back in the hood. I don't know. If power clean to deadlift ratio is genetic, what would be the ratio to be a fairly explosive athlete? Maybe 60%? I don't know, Levin. I've never really investigated it that deeply to have the numbers available off memory. How would you program dumbbell benching as a chest accessory? Any recommendations on weekly volume and or frequency? Yeah, you could do it once a week after you bench for 5 sets of 10. There you go. That's simple. That's straightforward. Hey, Jason, you said that shoulders and triceps matter more the heavier you go on bench. Are pecs less important than the other muscles on a max bench, or all muscles used? Oh, they all matter. They all matter. I'm just saying that the EMG data shows that the higher the percentage gets of 1 rep max, the more the triceps and delts get used and the less the pecs. It doesn't mean the pecs are not still a primary mover. So we want to be very, very clear there. Hey, coach, I'm interested in coaching. How do I get started? Start coaching people. Read everything you can, learn, and coach for free for the next 2 years and learn some basic skills. That's how you get started. Do you still believe benching once a week is sufficient? For a lot of people, it is. A lot of people, it is. I mean, technically, my benching is really speed benching on my second day right now. Unless we count the other accessory work I'll do, like the close grip high reps, where I might rotate dumbbells in for those. But that's because I'm running conjugate again. I know plenty of guys who bench 500 pounds who bench once a week. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. So I hope it has been informative. I love all of you, and I will talk to you guys next time.